Hi, my name is Vaishnani R, and this presentation is about gender discrimination against women in sports. This source from ABC News shows the annual salary of Messi, a football player, is $84 million, while the combined annual salary of 1,693 women football players from the world's top 7 women football league is only $42.6 million. This clearly shows how women are underpaid in the sports industry. My research question is, to what extent has gender discrimination against female athletes in sports has affected their willingness to continue playing sports in the United States in 21st century? Female athletes are less willing to continue playing sports because they are underrepresented in the sports media and they are paid less than men. However, there are instances where women fought against gender discrimination, which can be set as an example for current and future female athletes. Why is this important? Contrary to what people believe, gender inequality is not a women's issue. It affects everyone. One of the main reasons why gender inequality is an issue is because of lack of education of women, especially in developing countries. Women with no education tend to bear children at a young age without being able to properly take care of them. With gender inequality, they would get the education they would need, which would help decrease infant mortality rate and help the society. Like Michelle Obama said, no country can ever truly flourish if it stifles the potential of its women and deprives itself of the contribution of half of its citizens. Female athletes are underrepresented in the sports industry. This graph from WordPress.com shows the number of photographs of male and female athletes from selected photographs. Number of images taken of men are about 400, while number of images of women are only about 25 images. This clearly shows how women are not represented much in the sports industry. In fact, women make up about 40% of sports people, but they only receive 4% of media coverage. Since women are represented less, brands prefer hiring men over women as they bring more audience. This causes them to suffer financially and even lead to switching jobs. Even when women are represented in the sports industry, they're often sexualized. For example, this picture from Sports Ethics shows Anna Kournikova and Roger Federer, who are both accomplished tennis players. Anna Kournikova is photographed at a down angle, which is a sign of weakness and inferiority, looking at the camera, wearing casual clothes, while Roger Federer is photographed in a powerful action stance in athletic clothing. This shows how women are represented in the media as they are women first and athletes second. Women Women and men in the sports industry are paid unequal salaries. The stimulus source Empowering Women Through Sports mentions that women earn about 77% of men's salary. This picture from Medium shows that US men's team were paid $8 million for losing in the first round of World Cup, while US's women's team pay was for $2 million for winning the World Cup. This clearly shows how women are paid less in the sports industry. Since sometimes female athletes have to work multiple jobs because of this unequal pay. This causes female athletes having to work multiple jobs because of unequal pay. This sometimes causes them exhaustion and stress and not being able to perform as well as they would in the sports they are playing. There are many notable examples of women fighting gender discrimination in our history. For example, Venus Williams and Roger Federer both won Wimbledon single titles in 2005 and 2007. but Venus didn't receive equal prize money in 2005. So Venus and many others pushed Wimbledon to equal prize money for male and females in 2007. This can be set as an example for other sports to equal their prize money. This would help encourage more women to participate in sports because now they don't have a disadvantage because of their gender. Another example is when Sabrina Ionescu broke a record in 2020. She became the first NCAA player to reach 1,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds, not only in women's game but also in men's game. This shows how sometimes women can even outperform men in sports. Conclusion. To sum it up, women are underrepresented in the sports industry and also are underpaid. These examples of women of female athletes fighting gender discrimination would help inspire female athletes that a change can be made in the sports industry if they're willing to fight against the system. It would also encourage young women to participate in sports and to be a part of something which helps with gender equality. However, it would take a long time for a change to occur, which is why there should be laws ensuring that women are not discriminated against their gender in their workplace. For example, laws such as equal pay law, equal representation, etc. Thank you. Any questions?
I do have 2 questions for you. Just scribbling down the time. Okay. First question, how valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and how do you know?
The sources I used were very valid and reliable because I fact-checked the information using other credible sources and also looked up whether the author of the sources are real people. And yeah.
All right. And the next question. What advice would you have for other researchers who consider this topic?
My advice is to focus more on how gender discrimination affects the women. Gender discrimination affects the women in general, like the whole population of women, like how it promotes sexism in our society.